Hi guys from London, from the book launch event of the $1 Billion Secret. Today I have a very special guest with me, Jack Cowin, who is one of the heroes in the book The $1 Billion Secret that we are launching today. Jack Cowin is an Australian self-made billionaire, and I would call him the Hungry Jack. The guy who is responsible for so many restaurants in Australia and around the world. And Jack, you were just telling me you bought two pizza chains in Germany and converted them into Domino's Pizza, right?
I'm the chairman of a public company in Australia called Domino Pizza Enterprise. It's a public company. And we've got 2,500 stores, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, just about to open the 600th store in Japan, and 1,000 stores in Europe, of which France, Holland, Belgium, and Germany came about 2 years ago. We bought two chains, Joey's and Hello Pizza, and converted them. So we went from 0 to 300 stores in 2 years.
Wow,
and,
amazing.
So yeah, it's a big expansion program, getting the people, existing franchisees, to be able to learn and new techniques and things like this. But it's coming, doing well.
Okay,
so I hope the next time you're going to buy a pizza, Rafael, you'll see whether there's a Domino's in the market.
For sure.
Okay, good.
What I found amazing, I mean, you are known for introducing fast food to Australia. You have built the KFC franchise in Australia, then Burger King, which actually is called Hungry Jack's in Australia, and then Domino's. But tell me, how did it happen that actually Burger King is called Hungry Jack's? I mean, this is the only country where it is called different.
But there is an easy answer to that, because when we started, someone already owned the name. There was a guy in the city that had probably 10 stores called Burger King, had the name registered. So if you do that, you can't use the name. So we had to come up with another name. And
So you came up with your name, Hungry Jack's,
yeah,
but then
it sounded better than Hungry Raphael. See, so I mean that's two syllables. Jack is just one.
Yeah,
see?
Right.
So
right.
that's how it happened.
Yeah, but I mean, then the name became available, and Burger King wanted to change the name.
We actually bought the name from the guy that owned it. We bought his sites, converted it to Hungry Jack's. Then we sold it to Burger King, and. But by this stage of the game, we had like 200 stores, and we were the local brand. We're competing against McDonald's, and so we were pleased to be the Australian brand rather than another Me Too foreign American brand.
Absolutely,
so that was part of the strategy.
absolutely.
Part of the strategy.
Okay. Jack, you are so experienced, you are so successful, you are apparently a billionaire, and today you are coming from Australia to my book event, and apparently I'm extremely grateful for that and very honored. But tell me, what actually made you participate in that project? Why did you want to participate?
Well, I don't know. I think you do remember. You phoned me and you said Tony Tan from the Philippines you had already interviewed, and that he gave you my name. And to be frank with you, that's the way. One of the questions today is, how do you get to meet people? It's really the leverage, the introduction through other people. Because if you would have phoned me up direct and said, "Hi, I'm Rafael from Jira, I want to do an interview," I'd say, "Sorry, I haven't got the time. I'm too busy." So anyway, on the strength of my respect for Tony, we saw each other. And then, if you remember, you came around the house, and what I thought was going to be an hour talking about it turned into about 6. So we solved world problems. We saw, here, there, and everywhere. We discussed everything.
Right, and then we met again and again in different locations.
Exactly.
Right?
And
so it's a kind of
I found our discussion and the things you were interested in, which are encapsulated in this book, very interesting. And I think the other thing, one of the things that struck home with me was both you and I read the Napoleon Hill book, Think and Grow Rich, was really the inspiration, I think you told me, behind what you were doing.
Absolutely.
I think that was kind of the affinity that we established relatively early in the piece, which led to our ongoing sort of relation. And kind of on the strength of that, then I think I introduced you to probably 3 or 4 others that then became part of this.
So you not only shared your wisdom with me for that book, but also your network, which is such an honor to me. And you are probably the best networked person in the world, and it's probably easier for you than for me to to build such a relationship, because you are such an experienced.
Yeah, but I think the essence of the question today, how did you get all these? I think if you get the right introduction and get the other people to do the introducing, that's how it happens. Rather than trying to do it yourself. Yeah.
Right. But also in this project, I started with nothing. I started with zero, right? Yeah. So you have to always start with something, and then step by step improve and build. So this is, I see it as kind of also an entrepreneurial endeavor. It's maybe not in the monetary sense, but in the sense that you have to risk something that may fail, and maybe the probability is not that low. But if you go for that, you have the chance of reaching that goal. If you don't have the chance, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to reading this. I think you should be proud of what you've done. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I am. What are the 3 takeaways that you would like my readers, our audience, to take from your stories, from your life, for entrepreneurs, for ambitious people in the world?
Okay. Well, I guess briefly, one would be, how do you control your own destiny? I had a conversation earlier today with guys saying, what was what from the start, what was your main goal in life? And I think I grew up in a family in which my father worked for a big corporation, and I learned from a young age I didn't want to work for a big company. I wanted to be independent, control my own destiny. So the happiest and the most well-adjusted people I know are people that can control. It doesn't mean you have to be in your own business, but you have to have the ability to do what you want to do under your own, whether you like it or dislike it. A lot of people, you talked about the golden cage, a lot of people become prisoners. Right. Control your own destiny, have the ability to do it. Second thing was, you have to take some risk. If you do not take risk, you will not have any meaningful success.
Right.
So you got to be able to.
There is no risk. There is no upside. Apparently.
So you have to measure risk. You don't want to do crazy risk. You don't want to do foolish risk. You want to do things that you can probably quantify and think that the chances are on your side that it's going to work. And then you kind of focus and put your energy into trying to be successful at it. And but if you're not prepared to take that risk, then it's not going to be enough. Earlier today, again, we said, is luck part of it? Yeah, luck is part of being successful. But the more you swing the bat, the luckier you get. Right. And if you don't swing the bat, you're never going to hit the ball. Right. So that's kind of the principles. Third aspect of the third kind of lesson is, it's got to be fun. If you don't enjoy it, you're doing the wrong thing. Get out, change horses. You're on the wrong track.
Right. And get off the train.
Yeah, exactly. You got to enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy what you do, you're wasting your time. Life's too short to be having to do it just for the money. Okay. Because after a while, the money doesn't matter. It's more important what you're trying to achieve. And as I say, enjoying it, having fun, and enjoying the people you work with. I think that becomes a large part of it. Those relationships that develop, seeing them successful. But if you can do that under the envelope of having fun, I think that's the important thing.
Great. Thank you for being with us today. And see you from London, guys. I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.
Right. Good.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Rafael.